Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Auto Amateur. In this episode, the time is finally here. I'm giving my car not a facelift, but I guess a butt lift? So what am I doing? Okay, well, I have a first generation 991, and as much as I love it, the rear taillights, kinda, they're okay. I think they're an improvement over the second generation 997. They're not as nice as the first generation 997. In fact, I don't even think they're nicer than the 996 variants. So as much as I love this car, I've never really been a huge fan of the back end. And I'm a back end guy. Is that appropriate? No. All right, we're going to move on. So what am I doing? Well, I've gotten myself a second generation bumper, and I've had it painted, and I've also got the second generation taillights, the 3D taillights as they're known. I didn't know this was possible until I saw a friend of mine do it on YouTube. You should check out Andrew at NineElevenSouth. He's in the process of doing a bunch of mods to his own 991. And when I realized you could do this, I was on eBay, I was going to Suncoast Parts, I was going to Gowden Parts, Las Vegas, to get all of the trimmings that I need to get this bumper on the back of my 991. So that's what we're going to do today. It's relatively straightforward. Going to bring up the car on the lift. I've got a bunch of fasteners that I need to remove after I take out the tail lights. Then the bumper comes off. I've got to disconnect my backup cam. And then I've got some porting to do. I've got the backup camera to move over to the new bumper, which I need to drill a hole for. I need to port over the lights from over the top of the license plate. They're going to move over. And then new lights, and then a few other trimmy bits on the bumper. And then we're going to get it on. And then we're going to go take a look and compare the before and after. And I'm so excited. Let's just get it on. So here are the trim pieces for the air intakes on the side. These are the trim pieces that go around. I can't remember exactly how they go together, but they're essentially part of the housing that goes around the exhaust tips. And then we finally have this rather sturdy metal bar that fixes into place on the bottom of the valance, probably to give it some additional stability. And sort of toughness. And then I've got a few fixings which are going to help me put everything together. But actually, most importantly, I got the parking sensors painted, so they're going to be the same color as the bumper. They just slot into place easily along the back. There are 4 or 5 of them. So that's it. All the parts ready to go. Let's get it on the car. Welcome to the rear end of my beautiful 991. And you can see, I now have the Moshhammer Ducktail Evo spoiler on the back, which looks similar to the minuscule ducktail that you can put on the GTS models and so on for the second generation 991. So I think that's going to tie in really well with the second generation bumper. But anyway, I've got to lift the spoiler up. I've got some fasteners along the top to take out. I've got 2 fasteners holding in the tail lights, which can strip really quickly. So you got to be very careful with them. And then there are a few fasteners along this edge and along the bottom and then around the other edge. And then 2 bolts at the very end of the tail lights, which essentially hold everything together super firmly beyond the little fasteners that are everywhere else. So let's get it off. the back of the car without the bumper on, obviously. A couple of things before I actually took the bumper off. I disconnected, where is it? Here it is. The power harness for the taillight light, or the license plate light. And then I also pulled apart the plug for the backup camera. Now I just did this job recently, so I don't need to do it. But if you ever are in this situation, now's a great time to just remove these handful of bolts, T20 or T25, to remove the covers here, and you can replace the air filters. Really good time to do that. It's also a good time to clean up your exhaust tips because you got full access. I'm gonna be doing that. These are actually carbon fiber finish from Salt Performance, and they look dirty, so I need to fix those. But that's about it. Here are all the bolts that I took off. You know, fasteners, retainers, etc. Not too many of them. So now I've just got to get the new one on. So firstly, let's take a look at the differences between the first generation bumper and the second generation bumper. Well, essentially they are very similar. The cutout for the light is ever so slightly different because the curvature of the light is a little different. Essentially, it's the same height and the same width. At the back, the license plate cutout is the same. This version actually has the parking sensors. This one doesn't, and that's a nod to a future mod because I bought the parking sensors. I just need the wiring harness. The other main difference, and this is probably the biggest one, is on the side of the second gen bumper. You can see there below the reflector, which is also different, by the way, just slightly different shape. We've got the air intake, which the first generation bumper doesn't have. And then, of course, let's look at the gorgeous lights themselves. Here are the first generation lights. You can see that they've got a flat front. And here are the second generation lights, which are 3D. And the inside of the light is sort of recessed along the entire width of the unit. And I can't wait to see what these look like. But they fit in exactly the same way. 2 screws holding them into place, which are adjustable so you can get them straight if you have the 4S or the Carrera 4 with a light bar, and then the wiring harness fits into the exact same port. So that's it. Now we can get it all on.
So I'm making good progress, but I hit a little bit of a snag. The air vents in the second generation 991 need to fit within this plastic framework here. Now you can't take this framework off, otherwise you lose the wheel arch. So what I've had to do is use a Dremel to cut a hole in this plastic, and that was tough going. I went through about 6 Dremel blades. And then I've spray painted the outside of the heat shielding black, so that when you put it on, you're not going to see silver heat shielding. So I'm hoping that's going to look okay. I'm also hoping that I've cut the holes in the right position. So let's get the bumper on and see.
Well guys, that's it for another autonomy video. I'm really excited to put this one out. I'm really excited to hear what you think. I wasn't quite sure if I was gonna like having a second gen rear end with a first gen front end, but actually I think it comes together amazingly well. And I love the way they look on the back of the car, especially with the Moschhammer spoiler. So for now, this is my car. This is how my 911 looks. Now, I need more ideas for mods, so keep them coming. I've got a few in the pipeline, but I'm always looking for more. Let me know what you think, and like, subscribe, tell your parents, all that good stuff. See you soon. Bye.